Habit 7 Conclusion. A teen's best friend. Keeping a journal can do wonders for your soul. A journal or diary can become your solace, your best friend, the only place where you could fully express yourself no matter how angry, happy, scared, love crazed, insecure, or confused you feel. You can pour your heart out and it will just listen. It won't talk back, and it won't talk behind your back. A blog is necessarily not as private as a journal since it's on the internet, but it too can become a great way to express yourself. Writing down your unedited thoughts can clear your mind, boost your confidence, and help you find yourself. Keeping a journal will also strengthen your tool of self-awareness. It's enlightening to read past entries and realize how much you've grown, how stupid and immature you once sounded, or how caught up you were with some boy or girl. One young woman told me about reading old journal entries gave her the insight to keep from returning to her former abusive boyfriend. There's no formal way to keep a journal. It doesn't even have to have words. It can be a scrapbook or collage of mementos, ticket stubs, love notes, anything that will preserve memories and experience. My old journals are full of poor art, bad poetry, and strange smells. A journal is just the formal name for putting your thoughts down on paper. There are other names and forms. Allison writes little notes to herself that she keeps in a special box she calls her sacred box. Karen knows herself by keeping a gratitude book. I have a book that helps me to be more positive in life. I call it my gratitude book. In this book, I write down something I'm grateful for or something positive that happened to me during the day. This book has changed my life and totally put things into perspective because I try to pick out all the good things that happen and not the bad. I still keep a journal, but this is different. I have a page of my favorite songs, favorite touches, brother's hug, favorite sounds, mom's laugh, and favorite feels, a cool breeze, and so on. I also write down small things like Brian offered to clear the table for me, or John went out of his way to say hello to me today. These things make you feel good. I look back at this book and remember these good things, and the bad things are forgotten, erased, and gone. They can't affect me anymore. I've given a book to others, and they say it has really helped them. It's my way of saying you're the only one who can make you happy. No one else can. Your spiritual diet. I've often wondered what would happen to someone who drank and ate only soft drinks and chocolate for several years straight. What would they look and feel like after a while? Probably burned out. But why do we think the result would be any different if we fed our souls trash for several years straight? You're not only what you eat, you're also what you listen to, read, and see. More important than that, what goes into your body is what goes into your soul. So what's your spiritual diet? Are you feeding your soul nutrients, or are you loading it with nuclear waste? Have you ever even thought about just how much media you take in every day? This includes videos online and on TV, social media, internet ads, as well as books, magazines, and even billboards you see on the street. These days, it feels impossible to go media-free for even one day. Try it, and you'll see what I mean. Dare yourself to go a day without searching Google, looking at a magazine, listening to music, or watching any TV. You'll find it's virtually impossible. At this point, our society is so addicted to technology and pop culture that you'd probably start feeling severe withdrawal pains. Now, if you think the media doesn't affect you, just think about your favorite song and what it does to your emotions. Or think about the last time you saw a half-naked model strutting across the screen. Or think back to the last bottle of shampoo you bought. Why did you buy it? Maybe because of the influence of a 30-second TV commercial or a one-page magazine ad. And if a one-page ad can sell a bottle of shampoo, don't you think a full-length movie, a magazine, or a CD can sell a lifestyle? Like with most things, there's a light and a dark side to media, and you need to choose what you're going to allow in. My only suggestion is to follow your conscience and to treat your soul with the same respect that an Olympic athlete would treat his or her body. For example, if the music you listen to or the movies you watch make you feel depressed, angry, dark, violent, or like you're in heat, then guess what? That's probably a sign that they're trash and you don't need trash. On the other hand, if they make you feel relaxed, happy, inspired, hopeful, or peaceful, then keep taking them in. You'll eventually become what you view, hear, and read, so continually ask yourself the question, do I want this to be part of me? You're disturbing my sleep. I ran across a letter from the Youth Outlook website written by a girl named Lady Terry, who was fed up with all the trashy music videos coming out lately. She addressed the letter to the sisters who like to grind away across my TV screen. By permission, I've included parts of it here. I guess it's exciting to be in a music video, but do you know how you are affecting the minds and lives of your sisters? Do you think about the younger sisters who learn fast and emulate you? Have you noticed that 12 and 13-year-olds dolled up to look like 20-year-olds? Or are times so hard that you don't care who you hurt? I used to argue with my ex-boyfriend about watching BET and MTV because the majority of the videos consisted of not even half-naked girls wiggling and jiggling like a bowl of jello. It hurt me to see my ex-boyfriend in a daze with his eyes moving up and down. My neighbor used to tell me when she would watch music videos with her boyfriend, he would say to her, "That's how your body should look." Another friend who is 16 says boys ask her, "Why can't you dance like that?" Why are you on screen in tight, short clothing, moving your bodies around like you are freaks? Your sisters are very, very beautiful. You don't have to undress for success or to get some attention. You want brothers to respect you? Show them why they should through your elegant conservative dress. Then back up your reasoning with your words. The way you dress tells people what is on your mind. When you upgrade your appearance and your mindset, a lot of brothers will upgrade their treatment of you. So stop competing to see who is freakier than the next, and get your mind out of the bedroom because you are disturbing my sleep. Fried frogs. Addictions of all kinds, whether it's to drugs, gossiping, shopping, overeating, or gambling, have common characteristics. Addictions create short-term pleasure, temporarily eliminate pain, give an artificial sense of self-worth, power, control, security, and intimacy, worsens the problems and feelings you're trying to escape from, becomes the primary focus of your life. One of the more subtle but dangerous addictions is pornography, and it's available everywhere online. Now, you can argue all you want about what pornography is and isn't, but I think that deep in your heart you know. Porn may taste sweet for the moment, but it will gradually dull your finer sensitivities to romance, to the feelings of other people, and to life in general, until you can't feel much anymore. It'll also wear down that inner voice called your conscience until it's smothered. You may be thinking, take it easy, Sean. A little skin isn't going to hurt me. The problem isn't that porn, like any other addiction, sneaks up on you. It reminds me of a story I once read about frogs. If you put a frog in boiling water, it will immediately jump out. But if you put it in lukewarm water and then slowly turn up the heat, the frog will get cooked before it has the sense to jump out. It's the same way with pornography. What you look at today may have shocked you a year ago, but because the heat was ever so slowly turned up, you didn't even notice that your conscience was being fried. Have the courage to walk away, to turn it off, to throw it away. You're better than that. A boy shared this. During the summer between my junior and senior years of high school, I worked for a construction company. One day, the boss asked me to check on something with the building supervisor, who had his office on the job site in a work trailer. When I walked into the trailer, there were pornographic pictures posted on all the walls. For a minute, I forgot what I had gone in there to ask the guys because my attention was drawn to the pictures. It struck an interest in me. When I left the trailer, I started thinking, where could I buy this stuff so I could see more of it? At first, when I looked at them, I felt very nervous and uneasy inside, like what I was doing was wrong. But it didn't take me long to get addicted to it, because it began to consume me to the point where I was not thinking of anything else, my family or work or sleep. I started to think and feel lower of myself. During breaks at work, we would go to someone's car and someone would pull out a magazine and we would laugh about it and carry on. The guys that were deeply involved in it were not satisfied with just looking. They would talk about all the girls they had slept with, and they didn't seem to care about anything else in life. That was all their conversations were about, the magazines, films, and sex. Late one afternoon, as I was working, I heard some of my coworkers start whistling and calling out rude sexual remarks. I looked up to see what the commotion was, and there was my younger sister just getting out from her car, looking for me. I overheard someone say, "I'd like to get a piece of that." I turned angrily and said, "Shut up, that's my little sister." I was so disgusted, I left the job just before quitting time and drove around for a while by myself. I just kept thinking about how hurt my sister looked to be treated so horridly when her intentions had been so innocent. The next day, when I went back to the job and the guys passed around the magazine, I got up and moved. At first, it took a lot of strength, but as I did it more and more, it became easier. When conversations started that were crude and distasteful, I would walk away and go someplace else. I didn't think it was amusing anymore. I realized they were talking about somebody's sister. Get real. As we close this chapter, let me just share a couple of final thoughts. I once was talking to a girl named Larissa about sharpening the saw, and she gave me an earful. Get real, Sean. Who has time? I'm at school all day. I have activities after school, and I study all night. I need to get good grades to get into college. What am I supposed to do? Go to bed early and then fail my math test tomorrow? Let me just say this. There's a time for everything. A time to be balanced and a time to be imbalanced. There are times when you'll need to go without much sleep and push your body to its limit for a day, a week, even a season. And then there will be times when eating junk food out of a vending machine is your only alternative to starving. This is real life. But there are also times for renewal. If you go too hard for too long, you won't think as clearly, you'll get cranky, and you'll start losing perspective. You may think you don't have time to exercise, build friendships, or get inspired in between trying to get good grades or to make varsity sports. In reality, you don't have time not to. The downtime you spend sharpening your saw will pay you back immediately, because when you resume your normal routine, you'll cut faster, naturally. You can do it. You're probably already doing a lot of saw sharpening without even knowing it. If you're working hard at school, you're sharpening your mind. If you're into athletics or fitness, you're caring for your body. If you're developing friendships or being a good son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter, sibling, you're nourishing your heart. If you're spending quality time alone, you're bettering your relationship with yourself. Often you can sharpen the saw in more than one area at once. Melanie once told me how, for her, horseback riding did this. The physical nature of riding exercised her body. Thinking deeply while riding exercised her mind, and being in nature nurtured her soul. I then asked her, what about relationships? How does riding develop your heart? She said, I get closer to my horse. Well, I guess sometimes horses can be people too. Sharpening your saw won't just happen to you. Since it's a quadrant 2 activity, important but not urgent, you have to be proactive and happen to it. The best thing to do is take out time each day to sharpen the saw, even if it's only for 10, 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Some teens set apart a specific time each day, early in the morning, after school, or late at night, to be alone, to think, or to exercise. Others like to do it on weekends. There's no one right way. Find what works for you. Abraham Lincoln was once asked, what would you do if you had 8 hours to cut down a tree? He replied, I'd spend the first 4 hours sharpening my saw. Baby steps, eat breakfast, start a workout program and do it faithfully for 30 days. Walk, dance, swim, bike, skateboard, lift weights. Choose something you really enjoy. Give up a bad habit for a week. Go without alcohol, soda, fried foods, chocolate, or whatever else may be hurting your body. See how you feel a week later. Read blogs that have educational value. Check out online newspapers. Pay special attention to the headline stories and the opinions page. Take your next date to a museum or an ethnic restaurant you've never been to before. Expand your horizons. Go on a one-on-one outing with a family member like your mom or brother. Catch a ball game. Go shopping. Catch a movie for old time's sake. Begin today to build your humor collection. Bookmark the funniest memes or videos you know, or start your own collection of great jokes. In no time, you'll have something to go to when you're feeling stressed. Watch the sunset tonight or get up early to watch the sunrise. If you haven't already done it, start keeping a journal today. Take time each day to meditate, reflect upon your life, or pray. Do what works for you.